Vehicle thefts of Kias and Hyundais have skyrocketed nationwide following social media trends showing how to steal those cars. So to help combat the problem, Gilbert Police is handing out wheel locks to Hyundai drivers right now. And that's where we find Team 12's Adriana Loya at St. Mary Magdalene Church near Williamsfield Road and the 202. How's it going over there, Adriana?
Well, guys, Gilbert Police tells me that these wheel locks were donated to them by Hyundai following this massive increase in vehicle thefts in the valley. That's all because of manufacturer error that left millions of cars susceptible to being stolen. Now, the rise in the car thefts has also risen for Kia drivers. But this afternoon, the free locks are for Hyundai owners whose cars were made in 2015 to 2021. Those are the Hyundai models hit by criminals. New data that I got from the Arizona Department of Public Safety Vehicle Theft Task Force shows that so far this year, more than 16,000 vehicles were stolen this year. More than 1,300 of those were Kias. Now, Chevys were #1 with nearly 1,700, and Hyundai's accounted for nearly 1,100 of the car thefts. All of this keeping police very busy.
It's bumped Kias and Hyundais up to our top 10 list, and they've never been there before. This started back in 2021, and it seems like during the summer it's taken off, and it seems like juveniles are more involved in it.
Now, coming up tonight at 5, we'll give you an in-depth look at the numbers and which models were mostly targeted by criminals. Meanwhile, here at St. Mary's Magdalene Church, they're going to be handing out these wheel locks until 6 o'clock. We are near Williamsfield Road and the 202, so you'll still have time to come and get yours. We're in Gilbert. Adriana Loya, 12 News.
Yeah, there's a ton there. Adriana, thank you. They call themselves Desert Defenders. Their mission? To revitalize an area of land near Rio Verde that was destroyed by the Diamond Fire. Now, you'll remember this incredible video of that firefight in late June, the massive blaze taking with it much of the long-standing landscape. Today, we're making community connections with the group that's working to beautify the area with a unique effort. Team 12's Rachel Cole joins us live from the McDowell Mountain Regional Park with all the details. Hey, Rachel.
Hey, good afternoon to you, Tram. You know, this is the area that first responders don't let you come to, right? This is the burn scar of the Diamond Fire, nearly 2,000 acres scorched. It's very unfortunate to see, but there is hope on the back end because of the efforts involved in this particular program that you guys have. I'm joined now by Juanita Armstrong-Olberg, and she's with the Maricopa County Parks and Rec Department. Thank you for being here, Juanita.
Thanks for having me.
So we want to talk about, you know, why this program is so impactful to our own backyard.
So the Sonoran Desert habitat is not a fire adapted habitat, and so what we're seeing with the effects of climate change and the population growth in the Phoenix metro area, we're seeing increase in wildfires, and the magnitude in which they are, you know, the size of them are much larger. And that has a lot to do with invasive species also that we're seeing that is an effect of climate change, which fuels and allows this wildfire to spread, and that's where we're getting that magnitude.
And so today we're talking about these particular seed bombs, and we're gonna take a walk through this burn scar. We're gonna let Alexis go first while we toss these. We've got the volunteers over here as well. But talk to me a little bit about what's in these and why these are so important. These little tiny bombs, and we're just gonna soft toss into the desert, wherever, right? No wrong distance?
Nope, you can toss them wherever you want. You want to take the bucket?
Yeah.
Right ahead.
Oh, and I got my Dennis the Menace slingshot, but I will use that later.
Yeah,
okay, so what's in here?
So what we have in here is some native seed that we collected from local genotypes within the parks themselves. So they'll do better in climate change because they're locally grown seeds. And then clay and some compost. So the clay protects all the seeds in here from ants and birds and rodents. And so it's protected, and then when the rains come, they'll melt it. And then we also have some compost and soil in here to provide some nutrients so they get a head start.
Which is so wonderful because when we do take a look around back toward Four Peaks out here, you see these gorgeous saguaros, this one off in the distance. It's hard to think about those being scorched. You said you can actually tell on this particular one, the yellowing. You guys come out here and monitor to determine whether or not they're going to be okay to stay.
Correct. Right? It's exactly what we're doing. And so we know that, you know, 50% scorch or greater and probably less than that, these saguaros are unlikely to survive within a 10-year time frame. So we're out here monitoring them with our partners that are going to talk a little bit later. And so we're monitoring with City of Scottsdale and the McDowell Sonoran Conservancy and our Desert Defenders that you see behind me here today, so that we can kind of better understand the impact of the wildfire long term. And, you know, these species are not fire adapted. They breathe through their skin, the Palo Verde, the saguaro, a lot of the cacti. So those are the species that are getting hit the hardest. And so those are the species we might need to come in and replace. The forbs, there's been other disturbances, you know, previous fires and stuff like that. So some of the forbs numbers are a little lower, and so that's where these seed balls come in.
All right, and coming up in the next hit, okay, I'm gonna try to sling this, but in the next one, we're gonna hear from more volunteers. Ooh, that one split, but it's gonna be fine because it doesn't rain often, so they won't melt for quite some time, Tram. But a really cool effort out here, and we are gonna hear from the rest of the collaborative group about why this is so important, not only for the county, but the city of Scottsdale as well, and pretty much the rest of the 30,000 acres out here that are overseen and right here in our own backyard.
Yeah, Rachel, I remember when that fire first hit and you were one of the first people out there and you were covering, you know, those families who were so worried about their homes and their livestock and their horses. And so for you personally to see this huge effort to make it beautiful again, how does that make you feel?
You know, I was talking with Juanita about that. Being an Arizona native, it's really awesome to know that there are so many people who care about the integrity of our Sonoran Desert and who want to see it revitalized. And I did think about that on the long drive out here because it was very devastating to see those flames threatening structures and horses. And thankfully they didn't, but they did threaten the integrity of our desert. And so it's great to see volunteers come out and try to restore that so that it looks how people see it and picture it and want it to be, especially those of us who grew up here.
Yeah, we appreciate the effort. All right. Thank you, Rachel.